Hi everyone. On this week's ATV Behind the Scenes, we're sitting down with Persistent Universe art director, Mr. Mark Skelton. Mark, how you doing, man?
How are you, man?
Good.
How's Disco Landbro today?
He's all right. He's all right. It's a little in retirement, but Jared Huckabee, community manager, is still here.
That sounds formal and sexy. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah.
It sounds like you should be wearing a tux or something when you're talking to me.
I look good in a tux.
Do you? I don't.
It is. All right. So, back on track.
Anywho.
We're here today to take a look at the upcoming Million Mile High Club
Ooh.
that will be introduced in Star Citizen Alpha 2.0. So you're going to take us on a brief tour? Maybe start with some concept art, maybe?
Yeah, let's do it. So, a lot of the ideas that came about were, I don't know, we were bouncing around different ideas for what this place should be. I was a big proponent of using some previous assets that we had just because it makes the process go faster and we've already established it. So I used a little bit of some of the G-Lock bar to start with. Obviously we expanded it away from there, but so the G-Lock bar kind of, it was kind of like, already had that kind of industrial vibe to it a little bit, maybe a kind of a high-end, I don't want to say steampunk, but more like a high-end, nice industrial bar with like wood and some gold inlay and nice mood lighting and stuff like that. So kind of went in that direction, decided to start messing around with that. The first thing I did was start looking at other industrial bars that are real world. So there's a bar in LA that we kind of attached ourselves to. It's called the Edison Bar. I'll show you some of the stuff.
Bring that over to the screen.
Yeah, I'll show you some of this stuff. So the Edison Bar was really cool. It's got like this really interesting kind of industrial vibe that we were looking for. It's got a lot of like warm lighting in it, which I really liked, a lot of woods and stuff. So this was kind of the launching point for what I was expecting, you know, what I was trying to shoot for with this. I'll show you some of this. So yeah, that kind of classic high-end, you know, like cigar, you know, type bars that you would see in LA and various places. So with that, we first initially did a layout, which Behavior did a nice layout of the bar itself, and then I had Ken Fairclaw do a paint over of it, which I kind of went back and forth on. So after we kind of established what the layout would be, just a quick mock-up of the previous assets that we had. I had Ken do a paint over. We walked back and forth, or went back and forth with, again, the expectations and what the focus of the bar would be. Right off the bat, I felt like there was this big element right when you walk in that I thought was really cool. It's like kind of a mobile, like large sculpture. So kind of focused in on that and started Ken doing some paint overs here and there of it. Thought it would be kind of cool to reflect kind of a solar system kind of vibe to it, since obviously, you know, this is a
space game.
Space game, space bar. So also incorporating some of the wood elements and brass, which would go with the whole vibe of the thing. So kind of started with that, started putting things in place. The other thing that we were going back and forth on was the logo for the bar. We ended up going with something more elegant, you know, the 890, and something more high-end, which, you know, the 890 is kind of a high-end yacht anyway. So we started bouncing it back and forth. Wanted kind of a NASA vibe, a little bit, you know. I know Chris was really digging on that, so we had some variations, and we finally kind of leaned towards like 2 and 3. After we kind of established all that, got the sign-off from design as far as the layout goes. Usually design, what they'll do is they'll walk through it and give us what's called a critical path. The critical path is the path that the player is going to traverse the most. So we concentrate on that, make sure that that path has enough interesting things in it and moves correctly enough before going forward. A lot of it has to do with, we don't want to, obviously if you have a critical path, you don't want a lot of things in your way. You have to walk around stuff and do all that because it kind of destroys the flow, of the open area. So after we got that back from design, we started arting it out. And then since we had a lot of it established, I would say probably 50-60% of it's established from the G-Lock bar. We started with that and then started adding pieces to it to, again, pull it more towards a kind of a more high-end industrial vibe. So with that, I will show you what we came up with. So again, establishing the look and feel of it, I wanted dark metals and this nice high-end wooden floor to kind of accent how swank it is.
It's very swank.
Yeah, we did. I had a nice. We had some nice ideas about some material variations. So we got these like little soft walls, which I guess if you party too hard, and you're staggering out to your spaceship, you don't wreck yourself. Just good. Bounce off the walls. We got this dude, super intimidating. He's gonna check your he's gonna check your stuff, man. Make sure you're who you say you are, or he's gonna beat you down. So then we decided to, originally, like, the door was kind of over here, so when you come out you kind of make a right, and that didn't feel grand enough. I mean, we wanted to make it feel like when you walk out of this elevator, which the elevator's right here, when you walk out you have this kind of red carpet feel, very high-end, swanky, like a New York club or something like that. So again, concentrating on style, making sure that the style fits to what we wanted. These sculptures kind of, reflects like the big sculpture inside, which you'll see in a moment. So I'm so excited. I'm going out the door. So then you walk in and it's like swing. So again, here's the big element I was talking about. We wanted something, again, like looking back at that kind of Edison bar, they had these really nice diffused lighting elements at the top. So we put those in there, which it kind of helps break the ceiling up because the ceiling's really dark, especially in places like this. The ceiling doesn't matter. Obviously, you don't want to focus on the ceiling. You want to focus on things around you. We went with a warm cool, which I'll walk over to the fish tanks in a minute. But the fish tanks added a nice cool element to like the nice warm floor. So your eye immediately is like, ooh, I want to go play with the fish tanks. So over here is the lounge section. The lounge. So you and your bros can hang out and watch the Murray Cup races and whatever you flip on TV. This is a nice touch. They because I like cigars so much, they decided that they should put cigars in the game for me. So I thought that was kind of sweet. So again, I mean, lots of wood, lots of nice leather fabrics, dark versus gold materials, which accent really well. Everything's lower lit, so you get darker corners. It's more intimate, and also it pulls the player again to the main section. So you walk down here, and here's our little swanky dance floor with the logo that we were talking about, which I thought turned out pretty cool.
Yeah, it does.
So here's this big element above you that's moving around. So initially we had wood in the interior of these. It felt too heavy. It felt like the thing would weigh 1,000,000 pounds. And so putting glass in there still reinforced the, the high-end beauty of it, but made it feel a little thinner and not so heavy. So we put in this nice big fish tank.
People are gonna love that.
Yeah. I want to see Scuba Steve cruising through here.
Can we have Scuba Steve?
Maybe, yeah, maybe. There might be some little Easter eggs in here if you guys look hard enough. We'll see. See if anybody looks hard enough. For the bar itself, we decided to go with kind of a nice panoramic view of Terra.
Mm-hmm.
Just again, class up the place, make it feel higher end for sure. Have another big fish tank over here with a really swanky sculpture. Let's go over and check this fish tank out. Ooh, look at all that. God, this would take some money to maintain right here.
Yes, it would.
Good Lord. So again, using the cool tones to kind of set this corner apart. So you've got warm over here and cool, which kind of pulls you right over to this section. So you can hang out with your friends again, smoke some cigars. I like the cigars, man.
Apparently.
And so you also have your own bartender. You can come over and talk to Mr. Man, and he'll set you up with a drink, which I think his animations are off right now. You get the gist.
Yeah.
But yeah, we continued this Terra element like through the bar behind him. You can see like behind him it's kind of a full thing. Nice full bar, nice big area, nice seating. So yeah, and then there's a door over here.
There's a door over here.
Which you cannot access right at the moment, but for future secret top secret expansions, there may be something cool in here, which check back, and I bet you there will be. But that's about it, man. I mean, it was a cool little space to do in a relatively short amount of time, reusing some higher end assets that we have and changing them, making them a little better. We took some of the seats from, again, the G-Lock and kind of did little brass elements around it and put a nice brass strip on the floor. That made all the difference in the world. The floor originally was like just a big sheet of wood, so we decided to come in with accents and kind of gold inlay some of these elements, which break the whole floor up nicely. You can see it's just not an ocean of wood.
Red wood, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. All of the lighting elements and everything kind of fall in line with the sensibilities of what we were trying to go for. So.
Well, very cool, Mark. Thank you so much for taking us on this look at the Million Mile High Club.
Sure, it was great working on it. I had a lot of fun.
For those folks who own the Million Mile High Club, you'll have access to it, to the first iteration of it in Star Citizen Alpha 2.0. And there's
invite me.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Yeah, invite me because I want to come hang.
Yeah,
with,
invite
with
us
the
so
cool
we
people.
can go hang with you and your Million Mile High Club.
Yeah.
Don't invite Ben.
No, Ben doesn't deserve
No.
it.
Guys, Mark, thanks a lot for taking us through.
Hey, well, thank you.
Back to you guys.
See you.